Hey, yeah, you're listening to the Sunday Papers with Greg and Mike. Oh, yeah. So get ready, 'cause here it comes. Greg's about to scream, read all about it, and Michael cover his ears like he didn't see it coming. I mean, come on, man.
I hear you. I see you.
See, we should save all this. This is gold compared to
I
what
know.
we really
We need the extra time in the podcast.
Why don't we, how about this? You ready? For the editor, let's, right where we started 30 seconds ago, make that the top. And now, Greg, do your crazy scream, and they'll hear a little, it'll be a nice little insight into how unprofessional we are.
Read all about it.
Oh,
Read all about it.
I told them to
Kansas
do it.
City
It's still
Times.
startling.
Top stories this week.
I'm still
Caitlyn
eating.
Jenner.
Wow. Are you going to, go ahead, you're going to billboard the show?
Top story. Mike Gibbons has not eaten breakfast yet.
No, I'm a little behind. We're doing this early. You're in, how's Kansas City?
Oh, look at you. That's classic Mike Gibbons. There. Fucking flip it. Talking about you.
No,
Sucking nuts out of your teeth with your tongue.
I might be. People don't know. People don't know. They can't see this, right?
Let's talk about you. Last weekend, we left off Mike Gibbons. He was on his way to the Pacific Northwest to look at some colleges. I haven't talked to you since then.
You just flipped it back to me in a different area. I don't like this.
Actually,
Yes, went to Seattle. Had never been to Seattle somehow because I don't know, I feel a kinship with the Northwest. And boy, Seattle blew me away. It was amazing. We were only there 2 full days, 1 night, but it was really impressive.
it's
there to
amazing.
look at
Did you get
UW.
decent weather?
We did. We got rain and sun.
Yeah.
It was like we had 6 days of weather in a day and a half.
Yeah.
But really sunny walk around the city on Sunday, which was great. University of Washington, gorgeous, very good school. A lot of East Coast people, I don't think, realize how good it is and how highly regarded it is. And then, did all the tourist spots, went to the Space Needle and things like that. But yeah, it was very cool.
Did you make it to the Hendrix Museum?
Did not. And then I think it was at one time maybe a rock and roll museum, but now it's the Museum of Pop Culture. Frank Gehry designed. So you see these crazy warped, buildings, these shapes. And so we walked around that, but didn't feel the need to go in. And people had said that's, you probably, if you don't have much time, you don't have to go in. But that's right near the Space Needle. So we did that. And yeah, it was just Sophie and myself. It was a great time.
How's the homeless situation in Seattle?
It's interesting you asked that. Like a few people are like, yeah, we're coming back a little, like, from what? And I guess, yeah, the virus hit hard up there, but also, to tell you the truth, it looked like the west side of Los Angeles. Like, in other words, we felt at home. The homeless are everywhere.
Really?
But they're more than everywhere here.
It's got to be tough. If I was homeless, there's no way I would live in a place like Seattle where it snows, it sleets, it rains constantly. I mean, you come to the west side of LA, you get, how many days of rain have we gotten this year? 3?
I know. It's absurd. No, I don't. And in LA, somebody, like, all of a sudden someone's complaining about all the homeless, like in Brentwood and obviously downtown, I understand, because that a lot of the shelters are and services, but I don't understand Culver City homeless people. Like, why wouldn't you come to the beach?
Right.
Because they move their tents out onto the beach, and that's a nicer place to lay down. I don't know. I'm not homeless. I'm not an expert. I'm not even an expert on camping.
I think there's a lot of nuts at the beach. There's a lot more hostile, druggy kind of homeless people as opposed to Culver City, where I think you've got people that are more suburban.
Yeah, those are the film goer homeless. So they like being near the theaters there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're into old Hollywood. Chaplin. Hey, I'm living in front of where Chaplin lived.
Yes, those homeless. It's such a bad problem. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Everywhere.
bad. I don't know what the solution is. You know what? One solution that they've come up. I don't know if we've talked about this, but there's a bill in front of the state senate right now for converting public golf courses, and Penmar is the first one on the list, into public housing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I also heard this week that they are doing parks, and I guess some baseball, Little League baseball fields, they've started doing that. So they
Yeah.
have these, but it's like, I don't know. It seems to me the first instinct is don't put homeless near young children. I mean, a golf course sounds like a better idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to justify the amount of land a golf course takes up and how few people actually use it. You
Yeah.
know, like it's like, you know, in a day you've got maybe about 150 people use the course, and it is the land equivalent of a small town, and it's prime real estate.
And the demographics are intensely white.
Actually, not Penmar. Penmar is very diverse.
No, Penmar is diverse. That's because it's, you know, it's the people's course. It's like,
right.
What, $16 to play around or something?
10 at Twilight. The best is they have a Twilight rate at 3 o'clock, and Dennis is so cheap. Dennis Gibbons, our friend.
Oh, the guy got the line on the vaccines. And yeah.
So in December, when it gets dark out at 5:30, he'll tee off at 4:30 and play the last 3 holes in pitch dark just to save $6.
It's called frugal. I like it. I like it a lot. He had a comedy night there this past Wednesday.
Oh, how did it go?
It was packed, but the crowd was a lot of hipsters on blankets. And I stopped by, like I wasn't there long at all, but one guy I saw. So Dennis comes over, he's like, it was brutal. And I think I can share this. He goes, it was brutal. He's like, I kind of even got a little flop sweats or whatever it's called. Like, you know, during the opening, like there just wasn't anything coming back. And a lot of people there with their dogs. So you've done it there. You hosted a night there. It's like, so when you're doing blankets and there's different levels that go out. So the people in the back are on like the first tee, and they have their dogs and they're chatting and all that. And anyway, I saw one guy, he closed his set, and maybe this is the oldest joke in the world. I had never heard it though. He's like, all right, you've been great. Not tonight, but I'm sure at some point in your life, you guys have been great.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
I think that's that guy, Lachlan. Is he a tall, good looking guy with a beard?
I don't know. He has dark hair. He was playing golf out there. I don't know if you were in.
Oh, I know who it is. Yeah.
Short, quirky guy with curly black hair.
Right.
Been around for a while though.
You know, it's that setup. It's got one small speaker, and it's outside. So I think that there's a point of diminishing returns on the crowd getting too big. I think you only want about 40 people packed in on the picnic tables. Once they're on fucking blankets with dogs, it's not Woodstock. You need people's attention. I had a guy. I'm in Kansas City this week, and I
tried to ask you about it, but then a huge character flaw of mine was brought up, and then it was put back on a Seattle trip. I'm sitting here happy, picking food out of my teeth, and you fucking pull a jiu-jitsu move on me.
You're just trying to stall until your Ritalin kicks in.
It has to kick in soon. Quit coffee this week. Not good.
Yes. So how was the headaches?
Well, I told you about it. You don't have to pretend that I didn't talk to you about my depression this week. It turns out you need energy to be positive.
Yeah.
And I look who I'm talking to. And so anyway, I underplayed it because I wasn't drinking that much coffee. I'm not at a job where it's like, holy shit, I need my 6th cup at like 3 p.m. So there's no writer's room going on. And I'd say I averaged 1.5 a day, because some days I'd have 1. And so I thought, I can't be that physically addicted to it. And oh my God, really bad headache, which kind of triggered a migraine. But but also like you know, like anyone who gets down, and this is the only reason I'm sharing this is I know a lot of our viewers write in about how they're down during all this. But when you get down, even like temporarily, well, one thing I wondered, of course, is like, is this permanent? And then it's kind of like being really stoned. And then the other thought is maybe this is my baseline and coffee was picking me up.
Mm-hmm.
And that thought crossed my mind. But then I don't know, I'm feeling better now.
Are you exercising? We played tennis this week, but other than that.
Yeah, we played paddle tennis. Yeah, I am exercising. So whatever. But even exercising, it was a bad 2 days. But
Yeah.
I'm good.
Good.
Listen, minor complaints, obviously, but beware. And maybe when you're older too, it affects you more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I couldn't even dream. I've been on this antidepressant for like I don't know, 15 years, and I've been tapering off of it very slowly. If any of you are on antidepressants and you want to go off of them, literally go off like per week, take a fifth of the pill off of what you normally take. So it should take you 5 weeks to get off the pill. That's my recommendation. Talk to your psychopharmacologist. Don't go off too fast. But I feel better than when I've been foggy on it, and I feel more sharp, more grounded. I think antidepressants should be for a certain period of time. I don't think you should take them for the rest of your life unless you absolutely have to.
So wait, what are you converting to another one? Or are you going off antidepressants?
Well, I take a couple and I'm going off one of them.
I have to say, you do look like you're in a hospital room right now, especially with the hat and then that chair in the background. It looks like a very nice hospital room.
I look like I'm on hospice, right? With my fucking pasty white skin.
Like this is our last podcast.
My cancer hat, my cancer haircut, my
No, I like the hat. Put the hat
neck.
back on. I like the hat.
Yeah.
Is it too itchy?
No, it's not itchy. It looks like every woman that has breast cancer going through chemo.
It's not that. It also looks like guys with AIDS in the last stage. Don't beat yourself up.
It's not the hat that you attracted the guy that gave you the AIDS. Certainly not. It's after you got it.
Little Tom Hanks in Philadelphia feel. But you were just there. Maybe that you got influenced by it.
This hat was knit for me by a fan of mine from Seattle, as a matter of fact.
It makes sense.
There's a woman that's been coming to my shows for 20 years.
Aww.
Every time I play there, she comes out and she always brings me gifts, and she knit me this hat. Is that nice?
That's amazing. That's very cool. Definitely wear it. I'm glad you put it back on. So anyway, all good. What was it? I had some other thought. Yeah, I'm cloudy as fuck also. Sorry for the cursing.
Well, I'm in Kansas City drinking a phenomenal amount of coffee. If you could just look around the goddamn, just coffee's
What
everywhere.
a hospital room. Look at that place. I see your Jell-O. You have to eat. I also see a little cup full of meds still, Greg. You got to take them.
Jeremy, stop fucking coughing. My roommate is going down fast.
Couldn't get the private, could you? The best part about quitting coffee, I think you could relate, is the first cup of coffee back. So that's what's keeping me going. I'm like, one time I did a plan. Anybody out there, I'm already falling asleep at my own, listening to me make this podcast. But anyway, anyone with advice on it. But my plan is to occasionally have coffee, because boy, when you're not on coffee and you have one, it is gangbusters. It's the best.
No, it's like sex when you're married.
Probably. I hope to have it a little more than once every 2 months. But I'm thinking like never have it 2 days in a row. Like, in other words, build in a system, right? Don't get physically addicted again, you know?
Right. Absolutely. If you can do that, it depends on your personality. I have an addictive personality. If I do something, I have to do it all the time.
Like this podcast, right?
I'm in Kansas City, by the way, where a guy, well, first of all, I went to an Applebee's yesterday, which I hadn't been to an Applebee's since I started out doing comedy.
I saw you post that. I haven't liked it yet, but I saw you posted it.
So many comments. Holy shit. People have an opinion about Applebee's. And had this waitress, and she comes over, and she's got her mask on, and I've got my mask on, and she starts flirting with me. She's like, "Oh, do you live around here?" and blah blah blah. And then I tell her I'm a comedian, which I normally don't do. I usually don't tell people I'm a comedian because it just leads to having the same fucking conversation over and over again.
Except when you're flirting.
6 questions.
Yeah.
Like how'd you get started? Who's your favorite comedian? How come you couldn't sell out the Late Show Friday? And
why did you tip 12%?
Why do you keep staring at my tits?
What's up with that hat?
So she was kind of cute, and she starts flirting with me, coming back, asking me, do I want to get the brownie? Sure, you don't want to get the brownie? And so eventually I get the food, so I take my mask down, and then she stops flirting with me. I was like, is it that bad?
Oh, no.
Are my eyes are attractive, I guess, but I think the mask was covering my turkey neck and my fucking wrinkles around my mouth.
Oh, man. I would reverse your tapering of that antidepressant very quickly if I were you. Maybe it was all the food stuck in your teeth.
Yeah. And then I had a guy last night who was shit-faced drunk and kept laughing about 15 seconds after each punchline. And then I come outside to leave the show, and he's still out front, and he's now leaning against the wall of the club vomiting.
Oh.
And which is like, and he was way too old to be vomiting. I mean, like, that's if you're in your early 20s, I'll let you slide. This guy was in his 30s. You should not still be fucking throwing up from drinking in your 30s.
That's commitment, man. I like it. He's staying the course.
And so he comes, and then he wipes his mouth, and he comes over and he goes, "Hey man, can I get a selfie?" And he like reaches front, and I go, "Nah, man, I'm good.
Oh.
COVID is, I'm trying to be aware because of COVID."
Yeah.
And that chunk of pasta that you have on your chin.
And you filled your mask with vomit. You can take it off to vomit.
Yeah, right.
All right. I think we covered it all. We should tell people we're very unprepared for this podcast.
Yeah, we really didn't do much preparation for it.
Okay, I didn't, but I don't know. Normally I see you scribble a joke or two in the doc.
That's true. I didn't write any jokes in.
So we have stories. But no jokes. Just hold on to your hats as we rip through this thing.
Yeah, this is going to be more informative than funny. We just
and by the way, informative is not our strong suit. Yeah.
Shout out to David Dravanak for today's song. What did you think of the song today?
I liked it a lot. I want to go back and listen to it. What he accuses me of doing. It almost was like I'm unprepared. Was that the lyric? I got to go back and listen to it.
It might have been just that you were for some reason shocked when I was screaming, "Read all about it."
Oh, that happens every week. Even this week when I asked for it, which the listeners heard this week.
Yeah.
It still took me by surprise.
The logo was done by our friend over at Bull Roar MMA Podcast, which you should check out their podcast. Funny logo, me marrying Blondie. Somebody has sent in pictures of me fucking Blondie.
Oh, easy, pal.
And that was too much. I don't need that.
Easy, pally. Easy.
Yeah. Couple corrections from last week. Apparently, orangutan, an actual animal, orangutan is a powdered drink preferred by 4 out of 5 apes and Fitzdog and Mike. I guess we've been saying orangutan. And it's orangutan.
Yeah, it's weird. It's one of those, if you pronounce it correctly, it sounds pretentious.
Yes.
Orangutan, or what? I'm not going to do that.
I saw an orangutan in Nicaragua.
Yeah. It's also, I think I brought this up. It's Dr. Seuss who did Cat in the Hat. Are you going to be that guy who pronounces it correctly? Seuss?
Yeah. And then we got, you mentioned that Judah Friedlander was in a movie about R. Crumb, but he was in American Splendor, which was about Cleveland's own Harvey Pekar. Picard, with Paul Giamatti playing Picard. Cool little movie. Yes, I fucked that up. There was a movie about
By the
Art
way,
Crumb.
even now, that's even though it's been pointed out, that's really interesting. I blurred those two. I put those two worlds together.
Yes, and I'll tell you something. Watch that movie. Judah Friedlander is a really good actor, and he immersed himself in this character. He was amazing.
An American Splendor, is that the one? I remember being very impressed because didn't Giamatti playing Picard go to the craft service table and the real Picard was talking to Giamatti playing Picard?
Oh,
I think
didn't know
that happened.
Oh, is that right?
Do I have that?
I think you're right. I think you are right.
And I love movies that do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes they have to do it well, and this was artfully done for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when else that was done.
Yeah, there are good examples though. I mean, of course, there's people are going to write about, you know, all the Marvel where Stan makes little cameos. That's not really what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was really well done. That's a good movie.
Also, we want to, we're very excited to have the continued sponsorship. We are supported by audible.com.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I'm telling you, some ads are a piece of cake to read because it's something that's been a part of my life for, not exaggerating when I say 20 years. Every month, I get a new selection from audible.com, and it helps me go to sleep. That's how I use it. I am a bad sleeper, and I lay down with my headphones in because my wife is sleeping, and the app is amazing. You set the timer, and it keeps your spot, and I listen to great books that make me feel smart. So when I talk to people like Mike Gibbons, I can mention that I'm listening to The Boys in the Boat right now.
You told me about Boys in the Boat.
Daniel James Brown's book, narrated. And by the way, sometimes I pick a book by the narrator. This guy, Edward Herman, is my favorite narrator on Audible. His voice soothes me to sleep. And it's just, it's great. What do you're on Audible.
Okay, I would be admitted to a mental institution if they're still called that. If you look, so at my library, I'm just going to read in order what's in my life. People would get very worded in order. So the book I got this week was The Four Agreements.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Now tell me about it, because believe it or not, I'll admit it. I was going through Instagram and Joe Rogan did a post about someone on his podcast brought it up, and he remembered how great it was, and he went back and he started reading it again like last week, and he couldn't say enough about it. I'd never heard of it, so what do you know about it?
Well, it's it's a self-help book, you know.
Oh, well, here's the books in order. I'll just read them. The Four Agreements. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
The self-love experiment. But people, this is how easy it is on Audible. I don't know. I saw the title. I'm like, I'll try it. I'll try this It turned out self-love experiment was bullshit. Becoming Nobody, which is Ram Dass. The Addiction, Procrastination, and it doesn't say the rest of the title. Chaos by Tom O'Neill. The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner.
I have that in mind.
The Stranger by Camus. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Camus.
Well, it's not really pronounced that way, is it?
No.
Oh. Catching the Big Fish by David Lynch. Anyway, Untethered Soul. It's too much inward stuff.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, people, we used to have religion. We used to sit down for an hour every Sunday and have a learned spiritual person impart excerpts from a book that was based on community, that was based on giving, that was based on, being humble. And we don't have that in our lives anymore. And I think that self-help books can really replace that. Like Pete Holmes is a great example of a guy, and Joe Rogan, who have really enriched and changed their lives by listening to self-help books. I'm a fan, as long as they're good ones.
Then there's Zealot, which is the best book,
that's a great
which is the best thing ever. It's the historical account of Jesus. And then Born to Run. That'll be my plug this week. Go go listen to Born to Run. Bruce Springsteen reads his own memoir. And if you're into 22 hours of blaming your dad, this is the book for you.
Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment. It's all in one place. Bestsellers, new releases, celebrity memoirs. And plus they've got this plus catalog thing where you listen to thousands of podcasts, original entertainment from top creators. It's great if you want, like, you know, people spend $15 a month on meditation guidance. You can get it on Audible as part of your subscription. New members can try Audible for 30 days on you. And by the way, the Plus catalog, you can listen to a lot of this stuff without using any credits. It just streams. You can listen offline, like when I fly. I can continue to listen to the books even when I don't have internet, and it keeps your place. You keep your credits for up to a year. You get one a month, and they're excited to bring you this content. So visit audible.com/papers or text papers to 500-500, the number 500 to 500. And do it. Visit audible.com/papers.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay. Also, HelloFresh.
What's up?
The best thing about this is, you know, people give us free stuff when they're our sponsors, and HelloFresh sends us food. Let me tell you something. HelloFresh makes your life so simple. It saves you money. You eat well. You feel good about the fact that it's responsibly grown and shipped and delivered. Everything about HelloFresh is an improvement on your life.
It's amazing. Oh my God, especially if you're slightly ADD. And also, they're whole meals, like with multiple courses. So often it's like, what's for dinner tonight? I'm like, quesadilla. And the girls are like, and I'm like, and fucking quesadilla. Like, I guess salsa. So that's 2 courses.
That's a vegetable. Ronald Reagan would say that's a vegetable.
I have cut up tomatoes, and it's called salsa, and here's your quesadilla. So, and by the way, you know, so we occasionally feed the homeless, and I remember the time you have to buy all the stuff, bring it, and it's on like a mass, like you're feeding like 50, 60 people. So you go to the store, and I'm like, and I get the shopping list, and I'm like, how many fucking courses are we getting? And it's like, and then here's all the makings for dessert and the salad. So it was like an entree, but I told, anyway, a little diversion from our sponsor, but I told you that time I was there, and we bought all the stuff, which was really expensive. And of course, this is not cool complaining about our charity, but anyway, we go there, we cook it in this professional kitchen, which was awesome. And then we're serving it. And it's a main course, a side, I think there was also the side, I guess, was the vegetable, a salad. There was like 5 though. I think it was a side and a vegetable, and then a dessert. So anyway, guy comes up, puts his tray out, and then now I'm grabbing the salad with tongs and I'm putting the salad on his tray, and he pulls his tray back and the salad falls on the counter. And he's like, what kind of salad is that? And I just want to be like, it's fucking a free salad. Like, are you insane? You're going to pull that? And of course I didn't say that, but I did have to take a breather before. I'm like, there's some arugula in there. It's a nice salad. We spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this thing makes me look like a champ.
Now, when it takes 30 minutes or less to cook the stuff, and you don't have to, it's stressful to do all that planning and shopping. They offer 25 plus recipes to choose from each week, from vegetarian meals to craft burgers and extra gourmet options. Something for everybody. I had, what did I have? I had the San Antonio beef bowl with blue corn, tortilla chips, and fresh salsa. I'll tell you what, it was so filling, and we had extra. It was enough for leftovers for the next day.
Nice. All right. I'm sorry to top you here. I had the creamy dill chicken with roasted potatoes and green beans.
Oh, nice. All American.
I didn't even need salsa.
Yeah.
It was all there.
Go to HelloFresh.com/papers12, the number 12, and use code papers12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
What?
Don't forget, HelloFresh.com/papers12 and use code papers12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. It's highly encouraged that you do this because you know what? America's #1 meal kit is at your fingertips. Support us, support the sponsors. Do it. Okay.
All right. Are we? Oh, I don't have a newspaper. Are we? I have paper.
Oh, yeah. Do I have paper? I don't think I have paper.
Wow, you'd think we'd see this coming.
I can
every
crinkle
week
a
like that.
magazine.
No, I don't know. I think you've already crinkled that magazine when you made love to it 4 times last
The
night.
New Yorker? I jerk off to the New Yorker?
Well, you're very heady. You're very heady intellectual.
I like to get into it. I like to spin myself into white guilt and then spank one off. Extra! Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
And we're up. We're going.
There we go.
All right. You want some stories with no
Let's
jokes?
do some stories.
You got it. I think we already covered this. It's called Lonely Nation. I read this headline. Maybe it was while I was depressed. 2 in 3 Americans feel more alone than ever before. Many admit to crying for the first time in years. The feelings of loneliness and isolation were so rampant among Americans. 46% admit they cried for the first time in years at some point during COVID. That's a high. That's the reason I grabbed the story. 46%. When was the last time you're a crier though? When was the last time you cried? When you saw what that hat looked like?
I cried when I lost the 3rd set to you in paddle tennis the other day. Or was it the 2nd set?
It was. I'm gonna cry now that it was only 2 and it felt like 3.
It did feel like 3. No, I think, look, people are sitting with feelings. They're used to staying busy. We run away from our feelings. We work and we travel and we go out and we stay busy. And I think when you sit with your feelings, crying is fantastic. There's a reason why the human body cries. It expunges anxiety and it grounds you when you're feeling. After I cry, I find I feel joy more poignantly. I feel gratitude. I think you remember in broadcast news when Holly Hunter goes down on and she makes herself cry once every day?
Yeah, I don't even know if did she make her or like it was just like it's coming.
No. It was an appointment. She would walk down to the dock in one scene and sit and then cry hysterically, wipe her eyes and go back to work again.
And her cry, because all I think about Raising Arizona, her cry like, she's so beautiful. Like he's so beautiful about the baby. A stolen baby.
Yeah.
And she's so attached to it within 20 seconds.
Well, when's the last time you cried?
I've had some emotional sneak attacks, but I just clamp them down, man. But I was driving and a song came on and I told myself, I got to remember what band this is. But it was like one of those, like, why don't I listen to them more? Maybe by the end of the podcast, I'll remember what band. But the end of The Father was pretty sad.
Yeah.
I'm not giving anything away here, but a line comes up, which was, who am I? And that got me.
I can tell you the last time I cried was yesterday because I swear to God.
That's what's wrong with us. By the way, most people, they'd be like, oh yeah, last time I cried was like 3 weeks ago. Like it's a big event and they don't have this. I mean, it's cheap to say it's an Irish thing because a lot of people have it, but that like, push that away, get that down, move on, carry on.
Right.
Very British too.
Yes, very British. But I saw a clip online yesterday. The NFL draft was this week, and this running back, Najee Harris, he got drafted. He was number 24 pick, and so he went back to. He grew up in a homeless shelter, and most guys are in like a suite at the Four Seasons, or they're having a fucking party at a nightclub.
Yeah.
This guy went back to the homeless shelter where he grew up, and he spent the draft with the kids. and he bought them toys and he brought them food and hung out with them and told them all about playing football. And he just threw a big party for them.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was so sweet. I fucking cried. I sent the clip out to my family, and I got an emoji of crying to my wife. Well, I know you don't like to cry because you're not drinking coffee, so it'll mean the end of the day for you. It'll mean bedtime.
Crying is a good thing. Crying is a good thing.
All right, I'll send it to you. And I also I cried in my sleep. I mean, I don't know that I physically cried, but during a dream, I was crying because my daughter's right now looking for a prom dress. Our daughters are going to their prom this year, turns out.
I don't know if mine is.
You don't know if she's going?
I'm too busy crying. I should check in with her.
You should ask her about prom night. It's kind of a big thing for kids.
Wait, when is it?
May something.
Look at you. That's a good guess. Hey, you heard they announced graduation?
Yes.
At the Greek Theater?
No, I didn't hear that. Really? No, not the Greek Theater, dummy. It's at the Greek, which is the half shell at the school.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, they call it the Greek.
No.
Yes.
You know, Hollywood High School has their graduation since like the 1920s or even earlier in the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah. So the Greek wasn't a big, is that what they call it? That's a little, all right. They call it
Yeah,
the
they
Greek.
have events there usually every year the parents go to. There's different events.
And they call it the Greek when there's a Greek in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Which is an amphitheater.
There's one in Greece also. I mean, there's a number of Greeks.
I doubt in Greece they call it the Greek. You know, this is like a Greek theater. Yeah, we're outside Athens. I get it. They don't do that.
You're trying to spin your bad parenting into a. So
Get
anyway,
it off of me. Speaking of bad parenting, yeah. So my crying was Sweet Jane.
Oh, Sweet Jane.
And when he gets to that culmination, it's the live one where he just screams, anyone who's ever had a heart wouldn't turn around and break it. And anyone who's ever played a part wouldn't turn around and hate it. I don't know. It got me. It almost got me. I pushed it down.
Good for you.
I then switched to news radio real fast. And India was on. I just laughed my ass off. What idiots. It is funny when you're trying to quash like what you could turn to, like and just be absolutely callous about something.
Yeah.
Like usually it's like angry. Like, look at this fucking guy. He doesn't, and that person doesn't deserve that.
Yeah. I know. I'll think about like how embarrassing. I just think about the embarrassment of crying, and it shoves it down, which makes me then cry more.
You shared something with me once, and I know we're avoiding news stories, obviously, but which was, you said you thought you were having a heart attack, and this is years ago, and you were like in a whatever, like a Target or something.
No, I was at the Cedric the Entertainer at the production offices.
And you went to find someplace to be alone.
Yeah, I walked into an empty office because I thought I was having a heart attack, and I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want anyone seeing me die. It felt weak.
No, whenever I've gotten like in a bad accident, whatever, I do just want to disappear. The instinct that I see, which is so natural of like, help, I'm hurt. I have none of that.
Yeah.
I have the exact opposite. It's like a defeated lion or a bear, like going back up to its birthplace to die. Like I'm just now defeated. I've got a tail between my legs. I'm walking up into the woods.
Yeah.
Where can I die? Alone.
Yeah. And I feel like that. You ever get beat up in a fight? That's what it feels like after I've gotten beaten up, and then there's people watching, and then where do you go? You just fucking lost. It's like, as a man, it's one of the lowest points in your life to lose a fight.
I know, I never have, but and I haven't won any. Like I've kind of never been in a fight.
Really? With your personality?
Yeah, I know. I might be all bluster. Yeah, I mean, I've been in group fights. The rugby team got in a couple, but I'm normally breaking them up.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
Right. You broke up a fight with me one time. Remember at the Sirius Studios?
Oh yeah. That guy. Well, but that would have been one because I was just waiting for him to pull one shitty move, and because he was really a fucking dick.
Yeah, he was a dick, and it's on videotape. They had it on the closed circuit security camera, and they sent it to me. And
Hey, by the way,
you dove right in between us.
Yeah, well, that guy was not a threat, and
Yeah.
also. Listen, also, it's easier to be the breakout. I mean, if he had, oh my God, if he had come at me, forget about it. But you go in there and he's not interested in me, so it's very easy to get in between you guys.
Yeah.
But no, you put me in a couple of embarrassing situations. Remember the subway when we both lived in New York? And I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden, your eyes are not on me at all. And I see anger creeping up, and you're staring right by me. And I'm just like, what's going on? You don't even answer that and look at me, and you're like, what are you looking at? And I'm just like, what's happening? You're like, you got a problem? And I'm like, I go, Greg, what is, and I'm like a foot away from you. I'm like, honestly, what's happening? And I turn, and there's a guy, and he keeps looking at you. I don't know what his deal was. I mean, I think he was into you is what was going on, and it didn't land well with you.
No, I don't think it was a gay thing. I think the guy was fucking staring me down for some reason, and I didn't know why. And I got a little hot under the collar.
And I'm like, why don't we just get off at the next stop? We can walk the rest of the way. Because I get that's how I developed a sense of humor. Maybe it's like you just fill in awkwardness, in your childhood dinner tables, whatever it is. So I'm just like, it's just trying to just get this back to normal. Let's get back in our bubbles.
Yeah, right. So how I cried in a dream because I was on the phone with Aaron and JoJo last night, and they were looking at prom dresses. They were shopping for prom dresses online, and I felt so fucking million miles away. I wish I'd been there. And so I had a dream that night that she came out in her prom dress, and I burst out crying.
Because she's a lesbian. What do you mean
wife?
came out? Well, she came out in her prom dress?
Oh, dude, did you see, what's her name? Ellen Page is on Oprah. I saw a clip of her talking about realizing that she was
wait. It's not Ellen, right?
Isn't it?
Didn't
Ellen Page?
Change? Are you dead naming her right now?
Oh shit. I don't know what her new name is.
How very dare you?
Oh shit, I dead named her.
Oh my God, I literally was just about to go, why don't you just call her Miss Page? Just call her Page, just her. Oh my God, what a minefield.
Him.
Just say Page. You say Gibbons, just say Page.
Yeah, Page. Who's really funny, by the way. She used to come to Largo and go on stage sometimes.
Oh, well, I guess she did do that. No, but she did that.
And now I don't think you do that. I think it's only current.
Welcome back to the Old Guy Podcast.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some news, Mike.
Is there more? I think we're done. Wait a minute. Do we have a caller, right?
Oh wait, is she here? I don't think she's here yet.
Didn't you say 11:30? My time? I don't know what time that is in Kansas City.
10 minutes from now. 10 minutes from now. You're all nervous. Oh, wait a minute. Is she here? No, she's not here. You're all nervous because this is a potential romantic hookup for Mike Gibbons.
All right. Well, you told me a little bit about it. I'm not nervous. I'm pretty emotionally shut off. But I was just wondering if we had to tee up like the birthdays or whatever, because that's the purpose of this call. Another viewer wanted their birthday from this uncannily accurate birthday book. All right, more news. I don't think we have to do this, but Harvey Weinstein's extradition, I guess we're going to do it. No jokes on it, but so they're trying to extradite him to LA to face rape charges set for May 30th. And he might be out here in the Golden State. He faces 4 counts of rape, 4 counts of forcible oral copulation, 1 count of sexual penetration by use of force, and 2 counts of splooging on a houseplant.
Stop it.
And 2 counts of sexual battery by restraint and sexual battery in incidents involving 5 women from 2000. All right, so a lot.
Do you think that There's some irony to the fact that women use vibrators with batteries in them, and they call this sexual battery. Now, there's something there. There's a joke in there somewhere.
The move would probably be, I would just keep reading. If found guilty in the City of Angels, the 69-year-old Weinstein could receive a sentence up to 140 years.
Whoa.
All right. So he's currently behind bars, although he's appealing in New York State since March, and he's in jail for 23 years. But my thing was, even this hearing, which triggered this news story, where they're considering the extradition, they have 30 days to decide. All of it's been virtual. Why does this fat fuck have to be flown out to Los Angeles?
That's a good point.
Everything's virtual.
Right.
I do know that victims might have an argument, like they really want their day in court and they want to face him. And I get that. But in terms of it jeopardizing him coming to this extradition, like, I mean, I guess also you're taking him out of jail. Where do you think he stays when he's in LA? Not his usual rape hotels, but where do you think he stays when he comes out here?
Well, he'd be behind bars. Yeah, he'd be at probably LA County Court, LA County Jail.
You think, or is it like a special, like, remember, like in The Godfather, it was like they're in a hotel, a guarded hotel room.
Oh no. I think that's if you're being extradited.
Those were witnesses. Those were witnesses also,
yeah.
You're right.
No, I think, first of all, he's 69 and he's got a 23-year sentence. So there's no rush that he get out to LA. And I think these women should absolutely be able to face him. So they should wait until they can get all these people in the courtroom and he can look into their faces. And I think that's going to help their healing process.
Maybe the thinking is, since an appeal is underway, they want to layer this on there because then he has that.
Right.
You know, like even if he wiggled out of the New York thing on appeal.
Why'd you have to say wiggle out? He wore bathrobes.
He did. Or watch me shower. Ugh, what a pig.
I hope he's getting raped regularly.
He had COVID. I remember that. He has his walker.
There should be updates. I want to know when somebody like him goes to jail that he's being raped. I want to hear, like on the 6 o'clock news, they should just mention, oh, and by the way, Harvey was raped again today in his cell. Okay. That's part of the healing process.
No, he's a victim. I don't know. I don't think you want to do that.
Oh, that's true.
I think he's silently raped a lot. Silently raped a lot. And then there's a little whisper campaign. Like all of us who can take it and not view him as a victim, just nod like, yeah, he got raped again last night.
Yeah. Are you just telling him? Yeah. Stanley. He's
in his cell this past weekend. Like, are you going to put the Oscars on the TV? Why don't you just fucking bend over that chair again? Harvey.
Yeah, he wants to watch the Oscars so bad, they make him face away from the TV while they fuck him.
So you
can't see the screen. How
many Harveys do you think there are in real jail? Listen, white collar jail, tons of Harveys, nonstop Harveys, all embezzlement.
Yeah.
Not to group them together, but in real, like, all right, he was in Rikers for a while. I'm going to guess he was the only. I wonder if there's a way you could look up how many Harveys are on Rikers Island.
Yeah. You're right.
Or how many Weinsteins even.
How many Weinsteins? Yeah.
Again, maybe we're giving a pass to the Jews like we did on serial killers, but I don't.
And then it was pointed out to us that son of Sam, David Berkowitz, was the serial killer, right?
And this is in New York City. I mean, literally, Rikers is on the East River.
Yep.
And so there are a bazillion Weinsteins all around it. I wonder how many are in it.
Right.
That's a good contest. Someone write us with that answer.
All right, let's do the Giuliani story, and then we're going to have time for our caller.
Speaking of New York crime, Justice Department ramps up the Giuliani probe. The FBI's search of Rudy Giuliani's office this week signals that federal law enforcement is significantly ramping up its investigation into former President Trump's ally and one-time legal advisor. All right, we don't really have to do this story also, but generally, the thinking is this. This guy, I mean, he's not only an attorney, he's a U.S. attorney, and the mayor of New York City. To get this search warrant means they have the goods. That's the consent, the takeaway from most experts, because I read a bunch of articles on this.
Well,
And-
two things. One
Yeah.
is, do you think a lawyer as savvy as him would have anything on his hard drives that could be, I mean, he had to know this was coming.
I don't think he knew it was coming, but there's also some things that are there's evidence of maybe destruction. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But this is even savvier, is if you, let's say he's talking to someone and it's going to be shady and he's communicating with them via email, text, whatever, something that can be traced. If you take that person on as a client, none of that communication is fair game because of the privilege.
Right.
So that's a very big move that these fuckers do.
Yeah. He's who called him out?
Hold on. Do you see what Denman, who apparently doesn't have the shits this week, do you know? He just typed, there are 3 Harveys in Rikers, and he goes all black males, which, by the way, he puts in most of his sentences that everything's not about color, Chris.
Wait.
But wait, Chris, was that real? Were you able to look up?
How would you know that? Yeah, he's saying yes. Just type in.
All right, New York. This is fascinating for listeners. We're reading a Google Doc come to life. You type in New York inmate search on my black male database. What?
On Gov. Just look at my highlighted map of black people in America, and you can zoom in.
You know, that was one thing I pitched it as a comedy segment on Spike Feresten's show. We looked up, someone goes, you do not want to look at how many sexual predators are in your area. So they have a map. There were so many dots, it just formed a big dot. This was in Hollywood, right?
Right.
By Western Avenue. And so then we thought, here's a fun game, which is go to your maps, because Starbucks has a map. And it's, does your town have more sexual predators or Starbucks? And I thought that would be a funny contest. The problem was Starbucks always lost. It was disturbing. There was always more predators.
Well, for every Starbucks is 3 homeless guys out front that are predators begging for change.
Hey, this is a fun game. Now that Chris can look up all these things, should we come up with another unlikely name in Rikers?
Yeah, let's look up Greg.
Greg, there's going to be
is a black.
tons.
Greg is a black name as well as a white name.
Oh, you know what? The new list of names came out all over the world, and the biggest name is Arlo in the world. No, so many countries in America. It's for boys. It's the 3rd. Arlo is in countries you'd be like, they're going with Arlo? Like, they don't even speak English.
Wait,
like,
Arlo is the 3rd most popular name for boys in America?
Yeah, you want, okay,
No.
here they are. Is this?
That's not possible.
Yeah. Why do you doubt me? Oh my God. Silas, Atticus. This is very literary based. Arlo, Theodore, and Finn. Girl names, Luna, Maeve. These are awesome names, by the way. Luna.
There's no way these are the top names in America.
Luna, Maeve, wait for it, Aurora, Isla, and Aurelia.
Is this for Jackson Hole, Wyoming? Where are these names coming from?
Oh, by the way, I should find when my kids were Waldorf.
Oh wait, we gotta get to our guest. All right, hold on.
Is her name Maeve or Aurora? Then I'm interested.
It's in that vein. She has a name like that. We have this book. Mike came up with this book.
How many Arlos, by the way, in the meantime, look up how many Arlos are in Rikers. Okay, go ahead, proceed.
There's the birthday book, and we've solicited you guys to write in your birthdays to us if you'd like to come on the show. We did it last week. We had a lot of fun with a gun-toting liberal gay guy who was fantastic.
He was a great guest.
He was a great guest. And this week we have a letter from a woman who says, if by some miracle I'm selected and actually win, I'm proposing as a prize a date with Gibbons. You keep hinting on him being single. which could be a joke. But if he's really ready to mingle, I'm just throwing myself out
It's a
there.
very aggressive person. I'm guessing a Capricorn. I have no idea what I'm talking about. What's
She
the most
says-
aggressive sign? It might
she
be
said-
mine, Aries.
I'm assuming that I'm way too old for him, which, by the way, she was born in 1980, so she's
Ugh.
41. She's 41 and you're 54.
Hey, easy. That hurts.
So she said if he likes women who are COVID vaccinated, in shape,
Nah.
daily yoga practicing blonde, ICU
Losing me.
nurse, Grateful Dead loving,
Oh, she's young for a Grateful Deader. Head.
never married, no kids, then look no further.
Uh-oh, signs.
So she's on the line right now. We're gonna play
She's
the
here.
game with her,
All right.
and we're gonna. She offered to send pictures, but I felt creepy saying, "Yeah, send pictures." So here she is. Let's let her in.
Wait, were there pictures?
No, it's Elisa.
That's a decent name.
Hi,
How are you?
Oh my God,
you
the
hear me?
audio works.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Look at you. Yes, you look wonderful.
Hey now. Oh, thank you.
Hey
Oh, you
now.
too. I love the closet. It's great.
Yeah, it's really
it suits
working.
you well. Suits you well, yeah.
Now, what do you have on your wall behind you? It looks like a peacock feather.
Oh, it's not, it's like it's a piece of art that was hanging in my grandparents' house forever, like for as long as I can remember. And you know, when they were downsizing and I was like, can I have that? And it's mine. So I don't know what it is. It's some sort of metal, steel. I don't really know.
I like it.
But,
I like it.
yeah.
So you seem like you're a little bit on the esoteric wellness. You do yoga. Is that your
Yes.
lifestyle?
Yes, yes. I practice yoga every day. I've been doing that for probably the last 15 years.
And what did you have for
Nice.
breakfast this morning?
A coffee.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous. I'm jealous of that. Wait, if you don't mind, are there ceramic cats behind you?
Oh no, this is like a vintage lamp. It is cats. They're Siamese cats, but it's like an old vintage lamp.
Wow. All right.
It's a creepy lamp. I can turn it on here. See the
Oh my God.
yeah, it's
So
it's really
for
cool.
listeners, they are ceramic cats, and she just turned on a light, and their eyes lit up like they're possessed.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. All right. Did that come from the grandparents? I doubt it.
No. I found it at a thrift store.
Another thing you took from the grandparents while they were sleeping?
Yeah. When she says downsizing, we moved them to a facility and took
Yeah.
their shit.
You know, I'm not going to say that, but okay.
Now you live in San Francisco?
Outside of San Francisco, in the peninsula area.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, that's right. ICU nurse.
Yes. Yes, I work in the ICU. I actually just started. The new year, I started a training program. I finished it a few weeks ago, and I've been on my own in the ICU, and it's great. It's a whole different experience, whole different scene. It's and the name is true. It is so intense.
Yeah.
They're not joking.
Well,
You're
it
a
would've
good
been
soul.
more intense
During this year, you signed up for that job.
Yeah, I mean, it was part of the reason why I did it. I felt
Yeah.
like I wasn't doing enough as a nurse in my role before. And so there was this opportunity and I went for it. And so here I am
Very cool.
doing my
awesome.
part.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
a good person. All right, so I
Thank
want you to
you.
close your eyes,
Okay.
turn around, reach out to your bookshelf, and pick one book off the shelf, and I want to see what it is.
Okay.
Oh, she's gonna knock off the cats off the shelf.
I know.
All
It
right.
fits the four
not-
elements. What's the book
Oh,
you're reading?
wait a
The
minute.
four
Oh,
elements.
they are there, but I'll pull like something like right here. What is this?
You know what it is.
No,
I
she's being
don't.
random.
Stop
It's
it.
a dangerously
Oh my
earmarked
God!
catcher in the rye. What?
You're joking. It is really like one of my favorite books. Do you see?
Salman
Salman
Rushdie.
Rushdie.
Yeah, Haroon and the
Haroon?
Sea of Stories.
All right.
Oh wow!
It is one of my favorite books. It's like a kid's book basically. It's like a young adult book, but it's so good.
Well, we
One
have
of
a
my
lot in
favorites.
common because I've wanted to kill him since that blasphemist wrote those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike is
what was it?
Muslim.
Oh, okay. You know,
No, I'm
that's
not.
fine.
She's going to respect that, Greg. She's going to take you at face value with anything you say.
All right, so you wrote in with your birthday, and it just happens to be my mother's birthday, August 24th.
Really? I
Yep.
thought you. Wow, I thought it was in the email you sent. It was August 14th.
No, 24th.
Oh no way!
Yep.
That's so incredible.
Yep.
Wow,
she was
she's an amazing
19th.
woman.
She's an amazing woman. I love her very much, and I tried to hook her up with Mike, but
Yeah, how did that work?
two Irish people together is a problem.
Virgos are problematic. Let's face it.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I just looked down. I looked down at the book, and it says your month, I guess, is Virgo. Is it Virgo? Are you Virgo?
I am. I'm like the first day of Virgo.
So what does Virgo mean?
Virgos are very detail oriented, almost can be kind of high strung in a way, hypochondriacs. They're like analytical, very methodical. And so I do kind of gravitate to that in a sense, but you know, I am also very free spirited and carefree and live that kind of life. So, you know, I think I have some traits of Virgo and I'm not.
Okay, so I'm going to read yours and a totally random day of the year. And I'm going to, they'll both sound awkward because I'm going to try on the fly to remove mentions of the birthday, like people on this day, so I don't give it away. So don't read too far into any hemming and hawing I do. All right, we ready to do this, Greg?
And now, and keep in mind, if she gets this right, she wins a date with Mike Gibbons.
Well, is that all right? San Francisco. It doesn't seem close. We're going to meet in San Luis Obispo.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Oh, that
Halfway
sounds
point.
nice. Yeah. St. Louis Obispo.
All right, here we go. October. I just gave away that. Hold on. You're August. All right. I think I got the right dates. Okay. The day of precarious balance. Like a cat, those born on this day usually manage to land on their feet. No matter what difficulties or danger they face, it is their balance above all which they strive to maintain. This might be a simple matter were it not for the fact that they love to take chances. Instability may be their worst enemy, but most often it is of the self-induced variety. There are two distinct types of these people. On the one hand, this guy's covering his ass. On the one hand, the quiet, seemingly stable kind who appear to have it all together. And on the other hand, the daredevils to whom life without risk-taking is dull and tedious.
Sounds like the ICU.
Some of these latter individuals may think nothing of taking life-threatening risks, attracted by the skill required to win at long odds. Others, less extreme, will nevertheless be gamblers of a kind, whether money, property, or even love are the stakes. The more stable of these people may enjoy a fairly settled life, but closer examination makes it apparent that they are often attracted to highly artistic, nervous, or unusual people who bring an element of uncertainty with them. Both types love drama and lively events, the more stable ones as observers and the risk takers as participants. All right, there's a lot more there. Let's go to the other one.
Interesting. Okay. I keep trying to fit the Grateful Dead into this of how, like, you know, I think that one
was fairly accurate, honestly.
It sounded like it from your brief bio that you gave us. Well, the Grateful Dead seem all mellow and all this. They were heroin users, weren't they? All right.
I don't know if they were that far.
I don't think they were LSD.
Well, hold on.
Big LSD.
You don't think Jerry Garcia used heroin?
You know.
100%.
Oh, I think he did use heroin, but the band is associated with LSD and mushrooms.
Yeah, no, I've been to a million shows. I get that. I'm just saying. It's very much like what we just read. It's like on the surface, they appear mellow and all this, but there's heroin in their veins. Okay, The next one is called the Day of Astute Examination. Those born on this day have the urge to untangle mysteries that capture their interest. All the dark, misunderstood, or uncharted areas of human knowledge attract them. Not only students of the human condition, those born on this day often pursue objective knowledge for its own sake, whether philosophical or scientific, material or theoretical. Their never-ending quest for information and details, which can help them make sense of life and enrich their world, takes them far and wide. Unraveling complexity is something that comes naturally to these people. Puzzles of all types, paradoxes, and riddles are their forte. To say that they themselves are sometimes difficult to follow is an understatement. They can practically disappear in a labyrinth of thoughts, a maze of intricate ideas. But though those born on this day may be difficult to pin down and understand, they themselves rarely feel lost. I'll read one more paragraph. Unfortunately, these people are often unaware that they, in fact, are just as complex as the demands of their work, areas of investigation, or creations. They generally see themselves as simple and direct. This can create problems for those intimately involved with them. Their family members, friends, and lovers may often feel at loss to fathom their motivations, true emotions, and needs. Yet, when accused of obfuscation, that's a tough word for me, complicating an issue or evading questions, these people often react with bewilderment and denial.
Wow, I hope that's not you.
That's definitely not me.
This
I
book
go
is
for
not
the first
kind.
one.
You're what?
I definitely think the first one is me, for sure.
It
So that
seems
one's
like
me.
it. Well, first of all right, you're a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
You have taken interesting challenges on in your life, and recently, which I like because a lot of people get to the age of 30 and they pretty much lock into what they're going to do for the rest of their life, and they don't try to like take on new challenges. And you did this ICU nurse thing. It seems much more like you're the first one.
And Gregory, what about your mom?
Absolutely the first one for my mom.
All right, well.
By the way, I just thought of something. For this contest from now on, it should be the person's birthday, and then we should pick another famous person like Hitler or Trump and read theirs. And then you have to guess which one is you.
Okay, we could do that. Well,
Wow.
that maybe that happened, by the way. So I read
Do we have a drum roll?
I read yours, and I read Evel Knievel's. That's kind of similar. That guy marched to his own drummer, which could be kind of said about Hitler. Well, you're both wrong. The second one was August 24th.
No.
Wow.
Day of Astute, but that is exactly like you. You don't realize what a handful you are. It kind of nailed it. You are unaware, and look, you're flabbergasted.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
So here's August
I can't
24th.
believe it.
Yeah, listen, you're look at Evel Knievel would have some weird thing that he stole from his grandparents on his wall like that, and cats with devil eyes. You're not some easygoing Virgo. Who are you kidding?
Oh, man.
All right, here's your
I've lived
strengths.
my life as a lie.
Yeah, well, now you're more interesting. Here, August 24th, your strengths are you're observant, investigative, thorough. Your weaknesses are overanalytical, stifling, and obscure.
Mm.
Oh,
Here's your advice.
okay.
And this, Greg, remember, this is all for your mom. Don't make such a production out of small matters. Occasionally allow things to run their course. Your observations are not always appreciated. Follow your heart more often while respecting the wishes of others. Some secrets are better left unrevealed.
Oh, that's definitely my mother.
And then here's your meditation, which I'm sure you do. Some of the finest dancers and musicians are members of the animal kingdom. Don't know what that means.
That sums up Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir right there.
Do you want to
animal
hear
spirits?
You want to hear Evel Knievel's meditation?
Yeah.
Everything has to be paid for sooner or later, even what is given away free.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He paid dearly, broke every bone in his body.
Yeah.
Wow. So you really thought you were an October 17th
Oh.
person?
Oh. Well, listen, this brings up an interesting question.
Did I mention that, by the way? It was October 17th. So that's Libra, which I know nothing about this stuff.
So we've met Elisa, and she's lovely. She's a free spirit. She's got character. She's got a beautiful body, very pretty face.
All right, easy, Greg, easy. You're objectifying. You're objectifying this this person with an identity problem.
Do you want to go out with me, Greg?
Well, let me tell you
see?
something. If you saw me with a mask on, you'd really be into me. I get way better looking.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I leave it to you.
Why don't you do the thing with your masks?
Technically, you did not win a date with Mike Gibbons, but I'm putting it out to Mike right now. You can still honor the bet of
right. I do think the San Francisco thing's a barrier. No, like I guess I don't know. I'm going
to be in LA at the end of the month.
Oh wow, what's going on there? That's very unlike your. That's very unlike your sign. What do you think? What do you think? You're born in October, taking chances?
Yeah, I'm free spiriting it down to LA for a few days.
I like it. Well, wait, we have your email, so what we can. Why don't we talk about it? But you seem like the nicest person in the world.
Thank you.
The San Francisco thing does cause pause. Also, I'm kind of a mixed bag of I don't know where I should read my sign and then read it against someone who's incredible, like Charles Manson or something. I'm a little all over the place, but apparently you're attracted to that.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, you got the cat with the devil eyes thing. Do you travel with that? Is that your nightlife in hotel rooms?
I'm really into. It's weird, sort of fetish that I'm really into guys who hang out in their closets.
Yeah.
It's a turn on, really.
It might explain why you haven't been married. These guys,
these
guys aren't big on commitment.
Yeah,
or heterosexuality.
Yeah,
and they're good reason.
And they're always ready to pack and hit the road.
Yeah.
I do have to read mine.
Well, listen, Elisa, you've been lovely, and we loved having you on. You've made a successful segment, and
I love the show. I love you guys so much. I really appreciate what you do and like helping all of us, people out in the world, laugh and forget about shit for an hour or two.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, you're inspiring, I have to say, and going deeper into trying to help out during this virus is really admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
If only you acted like a Libra or whatever you are, Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, I mean, sorry. They don't mean anything to me, so I'll confuse them all day long. But that is so funny. You were so sure it was the other one.
I was so sure it was that one.
So
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it did seem like her more, but it sounds like there's a stillness to your real sign. There's something deep, deep waters.
Well, I didn't read the whole thing. I'll send it to both of you because Greg, you got to figure out your mom.
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Greg, you got to work better at your send-offs.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much. You were wonderful.
There it is.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
There, she listens to
you
the end. Wow, that's impressive.
Well, Mike, I got to tell you, I mean, she's still there.
She's still there, Greg.
I'm still here. I can't get off the phone. No, I'm still here.
It's fine.
Okay.
She's still. What does Elisa think about this next story?
I know she didn't hang up. You have to hang up.
She's not going to hang up. She's a Libra. She's a Virgo.
All right, she's gone. All right, so let me just double check.
She didn't win.
She didn't win, but Mike, she's a winner though, isn't she?
She's really a barrel of positive energy.
Yeah. You seemed hesitant when I tried to set up the date.
Well, you know me. I'm in a no man's land. A little bit.
You mean dating wise?
Yeah, I think so. So, all right, it's a lot to think about.
You're in a no woman's land as far as your dating goes.
Also, oh boy, I'm not great with personal stuff. That's why we do this. That's why we hide behind Florida men and stuff.
You mean
So
you might?
I'll email her, of course.
All right, you guys will hook up at the end of the month and we'll see if you guys get along. Who knows? I mean, San Francisco is not that far and they're building a high-speed rail. It'll be ready in 3 years.
You know, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California's #1 goal
Yep,
was to complete the high-speed rail.
yep.
So when was that?
A
20
rail
15
for
years ago?
a rail for not that many people going back and forth, and the flight takes 40 minutes, and it costs
No.
about $49 each way.
I'd say no. There's a lot. And when you see the amount, have you ever seen the amount of Southwest flights? It's like a train. It's like a train depot. It's like, do you want the 10:15, the 10:28, the 10:50? You know, and then fog just socks them into San Francisco, and you're backed up for 2 days.
Right.
No. There's a lot, especially now. Well, not now with the pandemic, but with Silicon Beach and Silicon Valley. So it's like the two locations of so many California companies were Venice and, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, those people are all going to teleconference from now on anyway.
Why not? Oh my God. I mean, are you going to go to a pitch meeting at Disney deep in Burbank ever again? Forget it.
Nope. I've been selling shows online. I don't need to be in a room.
That's one of us, man. I guess I got to call myself retired at this point. I'm good, but I'm coming up with some crazy ideas. So
For sitcoms?
Well, one, I heard back from Netflix on one. They looked at something I wrote, and anyway, they were like, it's good. It was something I wrote for CBS, which likes it right down the middle, right? But they were looking for like a workplace thing. So a thing I wrote for CBS was sent over. This happened this week. And then they came back like, yeah, not enough of a hook. And it's kind of like, that's what I said, like it was like, I like that note. And I'm like, I can get you more of a hook. So anyway, and for listeners who don't know, that means kind of like Third Rock from the Sun, giant hook, like it's like a hook can be seen on the billboard. Like, what is the premise that is really going to hook you in? So, and something like Everybody Loves Raymond, zero hook, other than Parents Live Next Door. That's a hook, but it's been so used that it's not even really a hook.
Seinfeld has no hook.
Seinfeld, well, they didn't know it, but 4 Jews complaining in New York City was quite a hook. People didn't realize it.
Yeah. 2 of them disguised as Italians. All right, well, that was good. Let's get to...
It's funny. I picked that October date very randomly. And then I started to announce that I was reading it. And as I was reading it, I'm like, she's going to identify with this.
Oh, you think she was going to pick the other one, the real one?
No, I knew she would pick the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know what hers said, but I was like, I can already think she's, based on what the short intro we had with her.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
Let's get, as long as we're talking about entertainment, let's do entertainment.
All right.
Last week, we did the Oscar ballots, and we picked, I think we were chosen the top 10 categories. I got 7 out of 10. You got 2 out of 10.
Did I really?
Yes.
I didn't follow. I don't even remember my picks.
You got skunked.
I did go, well, worst Oscars ever. And boy, did people tune out.
Were the ratings low?
Lowest, not only lowest ever, I think it might have been a 60% drop off from last year, which was low.
Wow.
It was really, really low and hated also.
I lasted 15 minutes and I was like, I tune in to watch big Hollywood. I want a big shiny stage. I want an orchestra. I don't want a fucking, this guy used to be a plumber and now he's an actor. I don't give a shit.
Oh, I'd take that one. Where's that speech? How about like, I'm not going to name names. You're an actor in this, in this culturally relevant and incredibly well-written thing and all that. Yeah, you had nothing to fucking do with creating this. This didn't come from your mind. You were an exceptional actor playing a creation by someone else. I don't need to hear 6 minutes of your views. I know that sounds harsh. And it sounds, I guess, right, because everyone knows who kind of won in these Oscars. But it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, if you've been in jail, because like whatever it is, you didn't create this story in almost every case. So I really don't. And by the way, the guy that did create the Danish, I think, drinking one, that guy fucking went on forever. The problem is they gave unlimited time to narcissists.
Right. Now, I think everybody should do what Marlon Brando did and just pick somebody funny to go do the speech. He picked a Native American. You could go through all the Village people, send a cop, send a construction worker. How
about Joe Pesci? Joe Pesci, Goodfellas, gets up, walks to the stage, picks up the trophy. Thank you. Yeah. Walks off.
Yes.
And also during the pandemic, you guys have all, a lot of these were shot before it, but you all had jobs like so much of the country did not. And now you're expecting and taking very seriously an award for your job.
Yeah.
Go to hell. Honestly, the country, a lot of times I think they've unfairly criticized the Oscars when there's been a solid speech or someone decides, hey, I have this audience. I want to shout out to a cause, right? Or something that's related to the movie. A lot in the past, I think those were unfairly criticized. I am with all the critics who slammed this Hollywood bubble this time around. I really am.
It's gotten out of control. It's completely unwatchable. And and nobody, just get up and tell a joke. Get up and tell a fucking barroom joke. Walk out and say, God, Moses, and Gandhi are walking down the street. Do one of those. That's all I want to hear. Do the one. I just watched one on Goodfellas, and the punchline was, "Hey, you left your cunt in the sink."
It's the best thing ever. That one, best thing ever.
You know the joke, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, no. It's on YouTube and you should all go look at it. It's incredible.
It's Junior saying it, right? The father.
Wait a minute. No. I'm thinking of, I thought you were talking about the Curb Your Enthusiasm where.
Oh, no, that is what I'm thinking of. It's when the Super Dave Osborne tells it.
Super Dave Osborne tells it.
Right.
Yeah. And
I've been watching so many fucking Sopranos clips.
Just Google Curb Your Enthusiasm, Dave joke.
And Seinfeld is in the scene.
Yeah.
He's telling the joke. What makes it funnier is he's telling it to Seinfeld, who's shaking his head because he's such a clean comedian.
Right. But I don't know. Wait, hold on. I'm looking something up because I think he won for playing Fred Hampton, right? I'm hazy on a lot of the movies, obviously, as I know. So Kaluuya, who I really like, right? He gave a meandering speech, right? Some of it, of course, cool, right? But I don't know, man. You win an Oscar for playing Fred Hampton. That speech should be about fucking Fred Hampton.
Yep. Amen.
I mean, holy shit. What a human being. And now I have to hear about the guy who played him?
Yeah.
I got to hear about your life? Are you crazy?
Right.
I don't know. Even if you have an exceptional life, it's no fucking Fred Hampton life.
Well, either way, you lost 7-2. You owe me lunch at Penmar. I'm getting the shrimp tacos, and I'm getting a fucking non-alcoholic beer, and you're paying for it.
All right. All on me. And of course, it should be called alcoholic beer. Those are the only people that drink them. But I will say, so you didn't see the ending, either did I. I had to go back and watch it after I read about it.
Of what?
The Precious Ceremony.
I saw it. Where the father won?
They rearranged, first time ever, they rearranged it. So, no, it's not going to end on Best Movie of the Year. Why do that? Want to know why? Because they had Best Actor. And it was going to go to Chadwick Boseman, and it was going to be the cherry on top of this intensely race-centric Oscars, who are completely overreacting, of course, because they got fairly nailed for Oscars so white. Hashtag Oscars so white. So what does dumb Hollywood do? Let's dig deeper into color and race and so overcompensate. It's the most racist move ever. It's like screaming, I have friends who are black, right? So anyway, and then, and the winner is, and it's a fucking ancient old man from Wales, white guy. It's the best thing ever. And silence. And then the Academy got in trouble because the Oscars, apparently, he offered to be available on Zoom to give his speech. Just like what Hannibal, what's his, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Just like his co-star did. And she was available on Zoom in case she won, like every award ceremony. And he said, hey, I can be available. They said, no, thank you. And they told him,
kidding. Really?
They told him no.
Wow.
And then they tried to cover it up, saying something like they offered Olivia Colman to accept it for him. But that didn't happen either.
Oh, I didn't know they lied about all that.
They're assholes is what it comes down to.
Wow.
Yes. Typical Hollywood, so hypocritical and always a very misguided reactionary. That's all this town is reactionary, even with everything. Like, the best description of Hollywood I've ever heard is like, it's like 2,000 people rushing to where lightning just struck.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of great black movies, I saw Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where I believe there wasn't a single African-American in the film.
No, you told me you watched that. Yeah, you told me you watched that last week.
Did we talk about this on the show already?
You did. You talked about it.
Did I talk about that?
This is like The Father, where we were trying to remember what you talked about.
Did we
the
talk
nurse
about?
Hit me.
Did we talk about This Is a Robbery?
A little bit, but not enough.
All right, so
I started it.
This Is a Robbery.
It's slow.
It is fucking. I don't know how many episodes it could have been in one documentary. There's so many multi-part series that are really just one fucking documentary film. And it's infuriating because the premise, I was there. I was in Boston in 1990 when this robbery happened. And it was fascinating because it was completely unsolved. And you knew that Boston had so many organized criminals. It is the number 1 bank robbery town in America by far.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, just Charlestown alone. There's been 100 bank robberies in Charlestown alone. And so I was like, great, this is going to be fucking amazing. And I have to keep waiting while they do that thing where they keep showing you the same footage over and over again and recapping and recapping and recap. It's like, I had stopped watching it.
I watched Couples, same here. I watched Couples Therapy. Season 2 came out on Showtime. I think I liked season 1 better. I liked the first few episodes of this one because she's incredibly insightful. And what you do is you learn a lot about questions.
What is it? What's Couples Therapy?
Oh, you haven't watched season 1 of Couples Therapy?
No.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wait, didn't I give you my Showtime password?
No, you need to.
All right. If I was faster right now, I'd come up with a funny password. But all right, I'll try to. I wonder if you can do that. I'll try to share it to you. You and Aaron and JoJo. I watched it with my kids. The woman is incredibly insightful, and what it is especially, and we talked about this before on season 1, but especially when there's let's say it's a anxiety that one partner has or whatever. It's and it's an anxiety about almost like bordering on OCD about being order and all. It's well, what does it look like? And anyway, when you watch it, you can learn how to ask yourself, better questions. Okay, what does your life look like in the world and your view look like if that doesn't happen? In other words, that thing you're fighting against, you know what I mean? And anyway, it's really good. I like the clients? Is that what therapists
Is it a
call?
reality show? Is it like you're not explaining what the show is?
No, because I assumed you listened to me when I completely explained season 1 on this podcast. I made the bad mistake of thinking you listened. It is this pure. It is 2 real people sit on a couch across from a real therapist and her dog, and there are cameras outside of the room that you cannot see and they can't see, and multiple cameras shooting through the walls. And
Does a Japanese woman come in and give a massage? Because I've seen episodes of this.
no, but that has way more viewers, and
Yes.
and not as many questions, but and perhaps more satisfying endings. So anyway, but just as much crying, probably. There's a lot of crying in this.
Yeah.
But boy, is she insightful, man. She doesn't let people get away with bullshit. Like, she doesn't let them lie to themselves. I guess that's the best way of saying it.
I need a therapist like that. I got a therapist right now that I do online therapy with. It was, believe it or not, it's a sponsor on my my other podcast. And
Wow.
It's called betterhelp.com. It's this amazing site where you get, first of all, I tried for 2 months to find a therapist in LA.
Oh.
Could not find one who was available.
No.
They are all booked solid. So this site got me in touch with somebody, and she's amazing, but she helps me change my thoughts, but she doesn't call me on shit. I need somebody who calls me on shit more.
No, you and I are waiting to be like, fuckface. Come on, get real.
Right.
And we are, and I tell them, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna lie to you. You know, like I can't, that's one of the reasons I'm here. I need your approval. I do that too much. But I have also literally said to my therapist, well, a couple of things. That old joke I told you, by the way, it's real, but I then would say it as a joke to people because it was so funny. I actually, in therapy, my therapist in New York when I was in my 20s asked something, and my word for word response was, whoa, 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 that's kind of personal. I said that to an old school therapist in New York, and he just raised his eyebrows and looked at me. So there's that.
I had a therapist say to me one time, you're performing for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll latch onto a story and go really deep with details because it's like, oh, I found something to talk about.
Yep.
I do that all the time.
It is weird. Therapy is weird when you say something that you wanted to talk about, you hash it out, she gives you some advice, and then you hadn't thought of what else to talk about. And so a good therapist is comfortable with silence. And I think a good patient can also let it sit there for a little while and see what happens and trust that something's going to come up that you need to talk about without feeling like you have to perform. And I'm not that good at that.
Oh, therapists should have been so much better with me. I would also say all the time, I almost didn't come this week because I didn't know what I would talk about. Like, that's 101. That's where a therapist says that is the exact wrong reason not to come. And you don't need to know what you want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You come in, it will come out.
Right.
It's like meditation. It's in there. It's gonna bubble to the surface.
And she said this is just, for whatever reason, I was talking about, I was frustrated with some people, and she said, you have to have compassion for people when you are judging them. Think about that they're struggling. And like that simple thing, I've been able to apply to some people that I was annoyed with. And it gets you out of all negative feelings about people when you have compassion for them.
Chris Denman is struggling. If that's not clear to you, I don't know why you remain so angry and frustrated with him. What were you just practicing that silence move? No, but also I have, and I know I say the word literally a lot, but again, I have actually said to a therapist, listen, I want more answers and less questions. I did this to my guy in Santa Monica, who I stopped going to a few years ago. I'm like, you've seen a million of me. You already know about the divorce at 4. You know about my commitment issues. You know I will lie to you because I'm trying to win. I actually care what you think about me. I go, and so what I realize is I need a behaviorist.
Yeah.
I don't need a therapist anymore.
You need
People
a
have
life
already
coach. You
Yeah,
think maybe your ex-wife can be your life coach?
That would be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what in a marriage, I think each person is the other person's life coach. I mean, Jesus Christ, Erin like researches ADD and gives me assignments all the time. She's amazing.
Yeah. I'm already paying her. That's a cheap joke. Yeah, that would be interesting. My ex, well, listen, that's what I've always said about therapy. You want to make progress in therapy, bring your best friend, because they'll be like, he's full of fucking shit.
Right. Right.
Like, especially if you're like down on yourself, like he's outgoing, he's you know, whatever it is, he's like, he's created this persona that which is not in here, which is not him, or whatever it is. Or tell him about the one night stand the other night, Susan, you know, or whatever it is, you know, like your friends will call you out on it.
When I was in acting class, I used to date a woman named Sue Costello. And
yes.
She and I were in an acting class together with the great late Greg Giraldo, and I missed class one week, and the assignment was talk to your significant other and tell them what you really think of them. And Sue went into this apparently 10-minute tirade where she was saying, you think you're so fucking outgoing, and you know you go out and you entertain people, but you come home and you're fucking depressed. And Giraldo didn't tell me about it for years. And then he goes, man, I got to tell you something. I've always felt guilty that I carried this around. He goes, Sue did this thing, and I was in the back wiping tears from my eyes. I was fucking laughing so hard, and I should have told you sooner.
But first of all, especially for Giraldo, he must have gained respect for you. Like, what do you think that guy was doing?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he had another life going on too.
But like, also, it's admirable. You're a fucking comedian. Like, yeah, it's, oh my God. Well, what did she expect?
Did you think I was going to be nice when I got home? No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, you're both in acting class. You don't think you're both completely lost?
Yeah. We're literally in a place where we're learning to not be ourselves better.
Totally.
Let's do some Florida Man.
Oh, here we go. This isn't a great Florida woman story, but Florida woman crashes car, and then she opens fire in a Sam's Club. Jacksonville Sheriff's Department said the bizarre incident unfolded after a woman who has not been crashed her car around 9:30 on, of course, Beach Boulevard, which is, I think, half the streets in Florida are called Beach Boulevard, and Route 1A. Deputies said the woman pointed a gun at people in the other vehicle that was involved in the crash, but did not pull the trigger before running to a nearby Sam's Club parking lot. Officials said the woman then pointed the gun at people, but again did not pull the trigger before going to the entrance of the store, which was closed. She then fired multiple shots into the store, breaking the glass. She then entered. This is a badass. She shot out a doorway, apparently, right in the window. She then entered the store through the broken glass. She walked around the store, which still had employees inside, and fired several rounds before leaving through a side door. Investigators said the woman never made eye contact with any employee, and the officers arrived, and the woman dropped the gun and was taken into custody. So my joke was going to be she was just there to return her gun, but because fucking Walmart. But Sam's Club does not sell firearms or ammo, so good for them.
Well, maybe if they did, they could have stopped that woman. You know, maybe if teachers had guns, there wouldn't be fucking shootings in school. Maybe if priests had AK-47s, you wouldn't see these mosques getting shot up.
If you were an employee in there and it was a Walmart, which I think Walmart still sells firearms. I don't know. I know it's an issue. But like, I mean, I would lock and load. I would run to that, which is the exact wrong move. I would run to that department. What would you do? You're in a giant store. You're in a Target, a Walmart, and a person comes in shooting a gun.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I would go right after them. I'd get low. I'd find out where they were. And I would say, and before I did it, I'd say, let's roll. I'd find somebody near me and I'd go, let's roll.
Yeah, and then just so you know, no one would roll with you. Not one wait, you wouldn't, I'm kind of asking you, would you go to like the pots and pans department and at least have shields? Like the worst thing to do, you wouldn't run in the break room. Don't run into a dead end.
Yeah.
By the way, Walmart, this is actually a good little drill. Walmart, locks their doors and they lock the employees in at night. That was a huge issue. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but that was a big thing. They would be locked in for security at night. Yep. You're locked in Walmart.
Somebody died because of it. They were having like a heart attack and they couldn't get out of the building.
You hear gunfire, gun person enters. What do you do in Walmart?
I'm not kidding you. I go get them. I get down low. I find a good vantage point, and then I run and I tackle him, and then I get the gun, and I shoot him.
Oh my God! You wouldn't hide behind the fat greeter? Use the fat greeter as a body shield?
The greeter's got nothing to live for. That's not even considered homicide. If you're a greeter at a Walmart and you get shot and killed, that's just an accident.
By the way, what's the greeter still doing there? He's not restocking. Is he just greeting the restockers?
He's practicing greeting. He's standing at the front. Thanks for coming.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, how are you in your sawed-off 12 gauge? Hello.
Are you looking for ammunition? That's aisle 4.
Do you want to shoot a Latina? That would be aisle 6. Do you want to shoot a white man? That's going to be aisle 9.
If you'd like to kill yourself, the restrooms are in the rear.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. What comes to mind? What are the hardest materials that you could like put up your shirt or hold in front of you?
Shovels. Maybe you go to hardware. You get a wheelbarrow. You get inside the wheelbarrow. All
right. Here's the scary part. Picture yourself as the shooter.
Oh no! You go get in a dryer. You go to the appliances and you crawl into a dryer.
Then they have a little fun. They put it on fucking dry. They turn it on. You're spinning around and they have target practice.
No, he doesn't have any quarters. He didn't bring quarters.
quarters for a home dryer. Okay. Your house is weird if you have to put quarters in your dryer. So this is the scary drill. Picture yourself as the shooter. Nothing's going to stop. Like, you're coming at me with a shovel.
Yeah.
I'm shooting you.
But you know what? It's not as easy to shoot and kill somebody as you think.
It's definitely not, but it is if you really take your time and just walk slowly towards them as they're throwing hammers at you. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, I've been to a shooting range where I'm standing perfectly still, shooting a target. I had a Glock, and my aim was not good. I didn't hit the person's head. I hit it like once out of 10 shots. It's fucking hard.
No, they say that, there's a lot of, it's terrible.
So if you startle the person and you rush him with something, it depends on the size of the guy. If the guy is fucking huge and he's military looking, I'm climbing into a dryer. But if it's somebody who's like a teenager or some gangly fucking guy who lives in his mother's basement, I'm all over that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. God, I don't know what I do. That's a scary drill. That's especially if the person entering knows what they're doing. Oh man, I think it's kind of over, unless you run to that gun department.
Right. All right, let's do some international.
Oh, wait, where's my
British?
Oh my. How this podcast we haven't even done. Hey, a person did write in and say we do too much personal stuff and not enough stories, but I bet a lot of people don't mind. I mean, the stories make it so topical and not evergreeny. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think that I don't give a fuck what people. Thanks for writing in, but I'm not changing the show based on what people write in.
Oh.
We do our show. You listen to it or you don't.
I do. I care. I care too much. We already went over this.
A British sex toy company, Love Honey, has received a royal seal of approval. The adult retailer this week was honored with the Queen's Award for Enterprise for outstanding continued growth in overseas sales over the last 6 years. The accolade allows the company Bath to fly the Queen's Awards flag at their office and use its emblem on marketing and packaging materials. How about that?
Oh, so you're going to have the Queen's face on a giant dildo.
As far as I'm concerned, why would you have anything else? I mean, think about who uses a dildo more than the Queen. She spends the whole day having to smile and make small talk. She has a separate bedroom from her husband. She is fucking pent up at the end of the day and she needs release. And why not use a Love Honey?
Well, it comes full circle. Like they're going to have a line called Moosecock and just put the Queen's face on it. For those that get the joke, it's a bonus. You don't need to get the joke.
Is it Moosecock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you're gonna have dildos, you can put the whole royal family on there. You could pick sizes like Charles. You know, Charles is the biggest fucking cock in the royal family, so he'd be the big black dildo. Is that racist?
Oh boy, I don't know what you just did there. I mean, wouldn't a simple like all caps "Long live the Queen" be on one of them?
Yeah, there you go.
Something. I'm sure there's a lot of wordplay we could have here.
Yeah. Also in Canada, Joy Chapman, a singer from Surrey, has officially set the Guinness World Record for lowest note ever sung by a female.
Wow.
Chapman's noteworthy achievement came in February. She hit a C major note at 34 hertz, which is cycles per second.
So you knew that hashtag meant major?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Boy, I really don't understand music. I mean, I've tried and people have really...
You can't read music?
Well, like most incredibly gifted musicians, I cannot read music.
Wait, you never played an instrument?
I was pretty terrible at it. No, like, so I can kind of get it, but I really don't understand. Conceptually, it's very hard for me to wrap my mind around the scale and all that stuff.
What did you play?
Well, I mean, I was forced to play trumpet and stuff like that. I was terrible. And then eventually went to drums and I was awful at drums. I really, I'm not, while I'm such a fan of music, it's like when I look at a guitar, it's just like, wow, like, it's mind-boggling. Someone like when you see what you have to do to your fingers to get a G. I'm making this up, but like, and then the next one on the scale is not even near the one you just did. Yeah, on a guitar.
It is amazing that the fingers can, and especially when you see somebody play and sing at the same time, and they're playing pretty complicated chords and singing very soulfully at the same time, and you're Hendrix, and then you're chewing gum and on acid also.
And that a 6-string guitar, maybe I have this wrong, and that's all of it. That's every note.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, it's I don't get it.
You know what's amazing is JoJo was very talented flautist. She played flute.
Yeah.
And for my birthday...
Thank you for defining that. Go ahead.
For my birthday, she and my son decided to play... They knew I love Zeppelin, so they learned Stairway to Heaven, but she found out when she looked up the music for it that that's not a flute in Stairway to Heaven, it's actually a recorder. And so she had to take the recorder sheet music and translate it. And she did it on her she had 2 sliding glass doors in her bedroom. And she wrote out with some kind of erasable marker the notes on recorder, and then she translated them to flute. And they woke me up on my birthday morning with breakfast in bed. He played guitar and she played the flute, and they did Stairway to Heaven.
It's like a beautiful mind, that image of all the writing on the... Yeah. It would be funny if she used a Sharpie and it's all permanent.
Ask me if I cried. Yes, I might have shed a few tears on that one.
Because you were so disappointed. You're like, get a fucking recorder and do it right. What did you do? You just, you tried to jam this into a flute?
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
And where's my wife on the drums? We just hit the fucking heart. We hit the fast part of the song. We got no drums.
That is a beautiful story, though. Very nice.
It's very nice.
I think you already covered the sports.
Yeah, we're going to skip science.
Kentucky Derby today.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Hey, I think the Kentucky Derby is one killed horse away from really being questioned. Because the world is just getting so much softer. And so the idea, first of all, so many people are against these horses being whipped and then coming on the brink of heart failure, you know, carrying a little guy around. So it's already, I think, endangered.
Do they give them drugs? I think there's some drugs they're allowed to give them and some they're not.
Hopefully they're all high. They, but this, you know, is it Santa Anita here? Has so many dead horses.
I think that's where they shot that HBO show. What was it called?
Yeah, I forget. But we talked about that because I remember when that was canceled, they said a very unpopular thing, which is we've had like 2 horses or 3 horses die. Like that is way below average for a track. And people were like, what?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman was in that.
Dustin Hoffman was in it, and so was Bill Macy. Was he in it?
No, I think it was maybe the worst mugshot of all. Nick Nolte. Was Nick Nolte in it or something? This must be so frustrating, per usual, when our listeners know all the answers to things we're searching for. Also, how hard is it? I'm sure it was a wordplay name like track, and everyone's banging their dashboard or their fucking treadmill, whatever they're on right now listening to this, if they know the name of this HBO show about horse racing.
And anyway. I think, it had a great cast. I remember that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great
Michael
show.
Mann even? I don't know. It was a high-end production. I do know that.
Don't forget, folks, send in your corrections to fitzdogradio@gmail.com, and we will indeed read them.
Has Chris Denman not coughed up the name of this goddamn show
I
yet?
know. What the fuck? Chris is asleep at the wheel. Is he?
We're in the sports section,
It's called
Chris.
Luck. It's called Luck.
Oh, that's a shitty name.
Jesus.
That's a bullshit name. That should be about Vegas or something.
Yeah. In business, condom sales have been in a slump since the pandemic as people sheltered at home and put their sex life on hold. But now, as more Americans are getting vaccinated and safety restrictions are loosening, condom makers are no longer having trouble getting their sales up.
Oh.
Male condom sales in the U.S. increased 23%. In 4 weeks ending April 18th. And market research
compared to the same stretch a year ago. Listen, a year ago it was also people were like, is the world over?
Yeah.
It's not exactly an aphrodisiac, the news a year ago in April.
I wonder if there's a pregnancy spike around now.
Huh. But I also think maybe during, you know, if you're an anti-masker during the pandemic, you're probably like, yeah, I'm not going to do any protection. Maybe that's why the stats went down. Maybe the sales.
That's
like, you know
point.
what? Yeah, I'm not covering anything.
Yeah.
If I'm not covering my face against a known virus that's killing people and really making people sick, I think I can risk that you don't have herpes or whatever it is you're fearing.
Right. I'm not wearing a seatbelt. I'm going to...
the helmet.
Yeah. No helmet.
Yeah. I'm not going to wear my braces, headgear at night. What?
Also in business, if you saw the movie The Social Network, you remember the twins Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss?
Yeah. I love can I go on record? I love the Winklevoss twins. And guess what? They created Facebook. Like, that was an Aaron Sorkin line in the movie, wasn't it? I think the exact quote was like, if you created Facebook, you would have created Facebook. It's like, no, they did create Facebook.
Yeah, they did.
And you stole it, you little fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they created it.
How do you, strip away all the like, I can't like these guys because they're good looking and they were born wealthy and they went to Harvard. How about you embrace all that? How about you go, here are two perfect humans. I want to just relish in the perfection of the Winklevoss brothers. They get into Harvard. They fucking create Facebook. They get paid out. I think they got like $45 million in Facebook shares and 20 million in cash from
should have been more. Should have been more.
But because it was Facebook shares at the beginning, it went through the fucking billions. And then 6 months later, they represented the U.S. at the fucking Olympic rowing competition. Are you shitting me? So then, just when you think it can't get any better, they can't get any taller, any better looking, any well-bred, they then, in 2012, invested $10 million in a rare new digital sensation, Bitcoin. Back then, it was $8 a unit. It's now $60,000 a unit. So now they're each worth $6 billion, and they've started a new business called Winklevoss Capital Management that has taken in $3 billion in investments. I mean, who gets to marry a Winklevoss? That's what I want to know.
Well, also, how about the work ethic? How about you guys are good looking, you come from money, you're at Harvard, you're varsity rowers, and you're like, let's start a business. And you start a business, then you hire, unfortunately, this awful human being programmer who steals your idea. But like, at what point do you rest? If you and I had 2 more good years, and by good years, I'm meaning like 5 digits, not 6, 5-digit year, we start coasting immediately.
Oh, you didn't start yet?
Clearly, look at me. Obviously, by the way, just look where I am. I am totally coasting. And these guys keep at it.
Yeah.
But also, can someone send us to the Winklevoss? Here is a guaranteed win. You ready? The Winklevoss brothers should approach Tom, or whatever his name was, at MySpace and bring back MySpace with rules about no fucking propaganda, bullshit lies, how about even no ads? Just bring it back. Do you know how many people would flock back to MySpace and leave Facebook?
Dude, I loved MySpace. MySpace was such a better site. And as a comedian, the best part is if I was going to Kansas City, I could reach out to people in the area codes of Kansas City and let them know I'm coming. I don't have to blanket everybody on my Facebook page with an ad for a certain city. I could just annoy the people in that city.
Just annoy. But also, I'm sure there's a million money-making ways, but to keep it, but avoid being evil. So whether it's like, oh, you want to pay for your product, but a huge vetting system. So listen, it might take a while because we're going to vet every ad, or I don't know. Hey, everybody, it's $1 a year. Something like that. Like,
right.
So MySpace could run and not accept dirty money.
I love it. Because they need some more money. I'm amazed by people like that. I think did I talk to you about a girl that I went to high school with named Ashley Briggs?
I like the name.
She was stunningly beautiful in the waspiest possible way. She had blonde hair. She had this sweater over the shoulders. She had small, perfect features.
All right, save it for Blondie. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, she left my high school to go to the fanciest private boarding school. And then she went on to an Ivy League school, and but she had a coming out you know, a debutante
Cotillion thing.
She
Yeah,
did
yeah,
all that stuff. And I've just always been fascinated by her because she was very nice. But what a life, you know, to be born into that kind of money. And then she married a guy who was, I shouldn't go into her life, but it's fascinating.
You say that now?
It's fascinating.
But here's the thing. No, the $1 a year was not for the Winklevosses. By the way, the Winklevosses will do this. Here's the win-win-win part of it all. Although they are shareholders. I wonder if they're still shareholders in Facebook. But it would take down Facebook. It would hurt. It would significantly hurt.
Well, Facebook would try to buy it because that's what they do to all their competitors. They
Tough.
just
You don't
absorb
think
them.
the Winklevoss can figure out whatever it's called, like shark repellent or whatever it is that companies do, so they're not taking over? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying they would do it. They wouldn't lose money on the venture. They would just start it up and all this, get it going so it pays for itself. And it is just for the good of the world. And it would hopefully ruin Facebook.
Which, and whatever, this might be kind of a personal question, but
I can already tell you. Oh, you sound like my therapist.
Cameron or Tyler?
I think Cameron.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad
I'm
for
such
Tyler.
a Cameron. I'm such
You
a
are
Cameron.
a Cameron, but the thing about Tyler is he's brooding and he's dark.
You can be such a Tyler sometimes.
Well, you know why? Because I feel like I pull for him because it's like from the wrong side of the tracks. He had a smaller bedroom in the mansion growing up. It was difficult.
Listen, there's no denying these guys are aggressive. They killed the triplet in the womb, ate him. You think these guys hit the ground when the mom shot them out? They hit the ground running.
Let me tell you something. When you're a
The mom thought there were 3 in there.
Yeah. When you're a Winklevoss,
When you're a Winklevoss.
I think you get kinky. I think you get so much pussy that, I mean, they must be into weird stuff at this point. They are literally, if they were not rich already, they would be supermodels. They're that good looking.
Listen, there's probably a lot of dirt on them that our listeners are going to write in and tell us about. But why don't they? Could 2 people run for president? Like we're a team?
Interesting.
Maybe if they're
Like
conjoined,
that.
they could get conjoined. Though.
They could get conjoined. They have the money for that.
Yeah, that's easy. They're inseparable.
If you were to get
they'd have to
conjoined with
change
somebody, what part of you would you connect to them?
Their boat would be a little weird when they're rowing if they're conjoined, especially if they're conjoined at the hip, side by side. I'd get conjoined with someone. Yeah.
I would do pinkies. I would conjoin pinkies.
You don't think that's getting ripped apart?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't do heads. That's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, funnily enough, texting with someone last night about conjoined twins, and then I thought about the Mr. Show has a great sketch about the conjoined twins, which had been separated, but they want to get back together. And they remembered how tough it was because one was joining the military and the other one was a hippie, like protester. David Cross was a hippie protester, and Bob Odenkirk wanted to join the military. One like stayed in shape and was on a treadmill while the other sat on the treadmill arm, like smoking cigarettes.
Let's check in on the Investopedia right now. You have, how much do you have? Did you check your account?
Yeah, of course I checked it, man. I've got 96,340.
All right, I'm ahead of you by $700. I'm at 97,000. Your daughter Olivia is at 110,000.
Huh.
She's making money. We're losing money. And then the leader, new leader. All right, he might have been a leader once before. Sunday Morning Stonks is at $198,000.
Wow.
New loser. We have a new loser. Guy named Haunted Jay has taken 100,000 and in just 2 short months turned it into 22,000.
I'm ranked 263, I think it said. 261.
Out of what?
Why do I beat myself up? I'm only ranked 261.
Out of like 360, I think we have in the contest. Don't forget,
boy.
not too late to get in. The winner gets $100.
All right. I'm running out of steam.
All right, so let's
which I
skip
could
this
have
day in
said an
history.
hour ago. That's a very serious Dear Amy. Why don't we save it for next week?
Yeah, let's save this day in
Ask
history.
Amy.
All right, I'll do a couple letters and then we'll
What
get
was
out
the
of here.
day in history, by the way?
Osama bin Laden was killed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, that's
All
kind of recent history.
Couple letters. Chris Paulson says, my favorite part of Sunday Papers is when Greg says something, then Mike repeats it 1 minute later without realizing that Greg said it. Then Greg gets angry and says, quote, I just said that. Do you listen to anything I say? Then Mike always says, did you say that? I'm sorry, I was looking up something on my phone.
Let's skip this day in history, actually. All right, yeah, well, it's true. Whatever this guy's name is, Chris. I'm glad you enjoy that, but yeah, this is the ADD hour. We're not shy about that. It's absolutely that. But wait a minute. I mean, I think you just picked this letter because so many of the letters are about you repeating stories.
I skip no letters. If they're good, they go in. If they shit on me, I don't give a shit.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you for writing, Chris.
Peter Cipriano says, got you beat, Fitz. My first concert was Sha-Na Na, September 1981 at the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut. Not so many hotties, so I struck out. I was only 7, but a shooter's got to shoot. Sha-Na Na, that's actually a very cool concert to go to. They were at Woodstock.
I was going to say, do I have this wrong? I think they were at Woodstock.
Yeah, they were at Woodstock. And they fucking killed. They killed at Woodstock.
Don't say that. You don't know that.
I watched it. They killed.
I can't imagine a gigantic festival with da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like,
boom, boom.
Yeah, and you're following Hendrix?
Bowser.
And The Who?
No one followed Hendrix. He went on last.
Was he the last? It was early morning.
It was a competition between The Who and Hendrix about who would go last. And when Hendrix went on, that was
Monterey. That was Monterey.
Was that Monterey?
The alleged coin toss?
Oh, right. All I know is at Woodstock, Hendrix played, and it was like 2/3 of the crowd had left. It had rained. It was like 11 in the morning, and the place was a fucking mess. So the performance was amazing, but the crowd shots were really, really kind of sad.
Yeah. And one of the editors on that movie, Martin Scorsese.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yep. Yeah. Might have been one of the directors also, anyway.
Pat Lathrop's first concert was supposed to be the Kinks in Kansas City, but Joe Brenneman's older brother he lost the tickets.
Fucking Brenneman.
Anyway, fuck John Brenneman. My first show was Cheap Trick instead. Huh.
Wow.
I would say Cheap Trick. I don't know. Which one would you rather see, Cheap Trick or the Kinks back in 1981?
Well, I can safely say the Kinks because I saw that exact tour. That's the one. And last week when I was trying to remember the name of the hit, it was Destroyer.
Okay.
That was their last hit single, I believe. And which he points out is really the same song as Girl, I Want to Be With You.
I got to say, though, Cheap Trick in 1981, surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away.
That's kind of a good impression of his voice and his weird accent. So look at this.
Yeah, it's weird is they were an American band that had a British accent as opposed to all the Brits that had American accents.
I know. I never get that.
Wait, Chris just wrote some information for us and then he deleted it.
I read it. Hendrix closed the festival Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, there we go.
I read the non-toxic things that Denman writes.
And that's all, folks.
We're going to skip this week's obituary, which was Michael Collins, who was the fucking astronaut who had to fly Apollo 11 around while Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were fucking playing golf and jumping around on the surface of the moon.
Yeah, someone had a really good comedy bit about that. Maybe it was Norm.
Oh, really?
Like, what you guys doing out there? You mind if I, they're like, no, you stay in. You just keep an eye on the ship. It's like,
Not only did he have to fucking not go on the moon, that they said that when he was on the backside of the moon, he was completely cut off from communications with NASA. So, do you remember that in the movie where he was like free floating with no fucking contact with anybody?
people think they have FOMO now in this digital age. Talk about that guy's fear of missing out.
Yeah, right.
What are you? So wait a minute. Is that those images are being broadcast? Are you guys playing out there? As I'm fucking making sure you don't explode?
Yeah. And then John Glenn starts fucking with him. Dude, you got to see the chicks on the moon. These girls, huge moon titties.
Guys, how was it out there? It was all right. I planted the flag. You know, he took some samples. He played a little golf. We bounced around a little. I said a few words. You know, I think people remember them.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you do? Well, I had my Tang, and I was watching your oxygen levels. I don't know if people are going to remember that.
I was plunged in utter darkness, fearing that I'd never have contact with NASA again. That's like we'd go down to the Bronx to get Coke, and we'd pull up in front of the projects, and one guy would stay in the car, and then the other guy would have to go in the projects to get the drugs. And it was almost scarier to be the guy in the car because you were not only worried about your friend, you were worried about getting jumped.
And then also all the guilt you felt when you drove away without him.
Well, that happened to my friend Lisa Cosmos. Should I say her name?
Wait a minute.
She was dating this guy, Chris, and then he went in and he got arrested and he got in a fight with the cops. This is in a project in the Bronx. And then he got taken to Rikers. And
whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy. He spent like 2 or 3 days getting beat up in Rikers while she was trying to get him bailed out.
With his cellmate, Harvey.
All right.
One of three. Yes, Chris, one of the three black Harveys.
Let's do the funnies. Time for the funnies.
Oh, hold on. Let me paper. Yeah. Okay. All right. Holy shit, we're over 2 hours. Okay, go ahead.
Just realized, like, reading Hagar the Horrible, I was realizing that whenever he talks to Helga, his sentences should all end with the word cunt.
Wow.
She comes in.
You haven't lost steam. Go ahead.
She comes in, and there's a paint can with a brush on it and a half-painted wall, but Hagar's sitting in a chair. Helga says, Hagar, you never finish what you start. And she says, prove me wrong. And he says, never is a strong word, cunt. And then the next frame is him holding a pie. And he goes, watch me start and finish this pie.
He got her. He got her.
Helga. All right, let's get to my favorite comedy couple. It's the Lockhorns. And in the first one, Loretta's saying I'm going to give you three where Loretta fucking slams Leroy, and then I'm going to give you one where he comes back in the end. All right. They're sitting in two chairs.
You're shooting your load here. Okay.
They're sitting in two chairs, and she says, I'll miss you when you're gone, Leroy. When will that be?
All right. That one's, some of his joke writing is, I assume it's a he. What's his name there? Is better than that. All right, go ahead.
All right. He's walking in the door, taking off his coat. He's got his briefcase. She's looking at his paycheck, and she goes, do you think this is enough to buy one of those books on how to be successful in business?
That's a good one. I like that.
The next one is she's on her knees pulling his clothes out of the dryer, and he's putting on a T-shirt, and he's got a frown on his face. She goes, no, Leroy, the refrigerator is shrinking all your clothes.
I like that one.
That's good.
That's a smart joke. I like it.
And then finally, Leroy comes back from the ashes. They're at a cocktail party. Loretta, who looks a little frumpy, is talking to kind of a hot Asian-looking chick. And Leroy's talking to this guy. And Leroy says to his friend, Loretta had an hourglass figure, but the sands of time ran out.
It's mean.
Oh, he hates her. He fucking hates her.
All right. I, as you know, you saw me cut and paste this Family Circus in here. I have not read it. So here we go. We're considering not even doing this anymore. Okay, so the circle picture is the little shitty kid. He's there in the bathroom with his mom. He's looking up at her. She's looking down. And he's looking up, and water is dripping from his hands. And he's pointing to these towels on the towel rack. And he goes, "Can I use that towel, cunt?" See, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do that. I think that helps Family Circus also. So he goes, "Can I use that towel, mommy?" Okay, you ready? This is the last part of the sentence. This is what this writer,
Jeff Keane. Bill and Jeff Keane. They worked on it together.
thought about. This is what he thought about. He gave thought to this, and this was the big twist in the tail, and which is a joke, I guess. And then he sent it off. And actually, like, it's a piece of art, actually. Like, they make a piece of art, and then that art is duplicated and put in all the newspapers. So it's, there's like a New Yorker caption type thing. "Can I use that towel, mommy, or is it just for people?" That's what it was.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or is it just for people?
Yeah.
Like, if I make an effort, I guess I understand your thinking behind it. And maybe it's amusing to one of these fucking Keens that it's like the kid considers himself not the people he's referring to, that people is probably guests or older people.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I think it should be, should I read this cartoon or is it just for morons?
Right. And you could write things about, couldn't he sell out daddy for using the towels that nobody's supposed to use or something like that? You know what I mean?
I think that Bill and Jeff Keane see themselves as kind of lead-off hitters. Like a lot of times Family Circus is one of the first ones, and it's like it's the top of the lineup. The guy is never swinging for the fences, not even for a double. He's just trying to get on base. He shoots so fucking low. It's a bunt. He comes out and he bunts every week.
How about, can I use that towel, mommy? Or should I just not wash my hands after the bathroom like daddy? What about that? That's, right. I'm not saying that's good, but right. Holy shit. I was listening to you as I thought of that and not putting in any effort. And I think it's more of an effort than this is.
Yeah. Can I use that time? And first of all, look at the artwork. It's a circle because it's Family Circle. And she's leaned into the frame. You can see her face, her hand, and her enormous breast. That's all that's in the frame. Isn't that weird?
Wait, isn't it Family Circus? Do I have that wrong?
What did I say? Circle?
Family Circle, but I like that. Who knows? None of it makes sense.
No. All right, here's what makes sense is my girl Blondie.
It should be Family Circle. Good.
Dagwood walks in the front door. He's got a briefcase. And what a life this guy's get. Every time he walks in the door, this piece of ass walks up to him. She's as tall as he is. And she's got on this kind of like kiwi green top. And her breasts are accentuated by a little pinch in between the two tits. Black, when I say mini skirt, it is well above the knee. Yeah. And she reaches in and there's a little kiss. It says kiss. And he says, "What's new, honey?" Which is pretty smooth for Dagwood. Yeah. And she goes, "You don't want to know, dear." That's what else. That's how she treats her man when he comes home. She doesn't lay a bunch of shit on him. Yeah. And he goes, "That bad?" She goes, "I'm not saying." You know what that says to a man when he comes home? You respect me. I just went to work. I worked for that guy, Mr. fucking Dillard. He busted my fucking balls all day. I come home and you have bothered to shave your legs and throw that outfit together and then he says, Thanks for the heads up." And she goes, "We can chat after dinner." She made him dinner. She's got the whole thing laid out. She's got some bad news. The plumbing went bad. The roofing, or his next door neighbor was peeping at her while she was taking a dump that day. Whatever it is, it can wait. My man gets fed before I start unloading my bullshit. My man takes in my full bosom. He flirts with me. He smells the perfume I put on. And then we gently ease into it after a couple cocktails.
I don't know. I read it as like she played with herself all day. I thought it was like, because the kiss was romantic. Everything was kind of sexy. You don't want to know, dear. That bad? I'm not saying.
Oh, yeah.
We can chat after dinner because she's still got a little in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she warmed herself up. She stopped just short of going all the way. She brought herself to near climax and then
probably
clipped
had
it.
that respect. She probably had that respect. Also, she's got to get to the finish line because that's all he's got. He's got that one little push over the finish line. That's all he's got, that guy.
Yeah, he's got 3 pumps, and she's got to be ready for them when they come so she can meet him. She wants to come together, but that's not going to happen if they start from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs a big head start.
I like the neighbor. The neighbor didn't even peek in at her changing or something. It was her taking a dump. What's wrong with you?
That guy's weird. He's like Chuck Berry.
She's in her bedroom. I really want to wait till she's on the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peek in that in the bathroom downstairs where there's just a toilet.
There is something sexy about that. Watching a woman who's so well put together in her lowest moment. All right. There's
this is a
something
good
compelling
time
about that.
And by end it, I mean, I don't think we're coming back next week.
All right. We want to thank our sponsors. Don't forget, go to audible.com/papers or text 500-500 and get involved with them. Also, HelloFresh is doing a very nice thing where they give you 12 free meals plus shipping if you go to hellofresh.com/papers12.
It's more than free food. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that I can't find anything in the supermarket? Well, I go to different ones depending on the lines out here and stuff. But it's like, so when I go to different ones, forget it. I don't know.
And you're always going to forget that one ingredient. I forgot to get cinnamon or parsley. Come on. I'm not going back.
So I forgot salmon. I got parsley. You guys want parsley for dinner?
We also want to thank our guest today. Who was enough to call in, and we're going to see what happens when she comes to LA at the end of the month. She was
so sweet. That was really nice. And boy,
she was very
inspiring work story.
And a very, very attractive woman, by the way, Elisa. I should give out her Instagram so you guys can check her out. And then also Midcoast Media, Chris Denman, Beth Hoops put the show together for us every week. Thank you guys for doing that. Mike, have a good rest of the weekend.
Yeah, right. What do you got? Kansas City got a show tonight. No, it's Sunday. What's your deal on Sunday?
I'm back. I'm taking a hike with my nephew and my wife today.
All right.
Ready for a little paddle tennis, maybe Monday or Tuesday, a little paddle.
I like it. Let's get back out there.
All right. We'll see you later.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Hey, yeah, you're listening to the Sunday Papers with Greg and Mike. Oh, yeah. So get ready, 'cause here it comes. Greg's about to scream, read all about it, and Mike will cover his ears like he didn't see it coming. I mean, come on, man. You've been doing the show since April. As for us, we're enjoying one good damn show. You say you'll do an hour, but then you do 2 or more, which is good for us, the listeners who enjoy the show that you make. Support the sponsors.